Hello, my name is Maksim. I'm a volunteer at an US-based nonprofit called Nova Ukraine. We are focusing on providing humanitarian relief for people affected by the Russian-Ukrainian war. And I'm working on the donations track, so I'm helping to build systems that collect information about our donors and help us to understand how to make our fundraising efforts more effective. My background is I'm a formerly senior engineering manager at Instacart. Just before the war, I left my job and was looking to have a fun vacation, but then the war started. I had to travel to Ukraine to bring my aunt from Odessa to our family home in Lithuania. In that journey, I've seen this like a lot of people who are fleeing the war. I have talked to a number of people affected by the war, so that made me very passionate about the cause and what Nova Ukraine is doing. Unfortunately, the war has created a lot of demand for help. There's a lot of suffering to alleviate. There's a lot of people there are a lot of volunteers on the ground in Ukraine looking to different projects. Before the war, there were less requests. After the war has started, we started to receive a huge number of inbound requests for funding or equipment or goods. So the growth that the company had has been exponential. And typically, then there's such a growth and such a demand for repetitive tasks. Then, when there are any repetitive tasks, there is a demand for automation. So, as work has been increasing faster than we had new people joining, we needed to come up with solutions that would allow us to meet the number of requests or to process the number of requests with the limited team that we had. The technical team that has been serving those volunteers has been small, and we try to find ways how can we welcome this large number of new volunteers into an organization in an as efficient way as possible. So automating the processes, the internal processes of onboarding, automating the processes of processing the incoming requests, or streaming the data between different systems has been crucial to our operation, because just the sheer volume of them have been overwhelming and has been growing fast, and the number of volunteers have been growing slower. Given the nature of the war, we also needed to limit the number of volunteers that we were accepting, or be careful about the volunteers that we're accepting. So that created a large demand for automation, and technical expertise of me or like my colleagues have been important in order to keep the nonprofit running and meet the demand that we saw with the number of proposals and inbound requests that we were receiving. So a proposal comes in an email, it goes into a spreadsheet, then it goes into Asana, then it goes into Salesforce. So what Workato does currently, how does it help right now, is it helps us to bridge those gaps. Before, we were copying data from one system to another, and the process was error prone, took long, had delays, etc. And we lost some, unfortunately. We did our best, but the mistakes happened. And with Workato, these things now can happen automatically. The beautiful thing about Workato is that it's so easy to plug and play and use for integrating different systems that it's almost like a toy, but that it also makes it incredibly useful when you have to be flexible, when the processes are changing. After the beginning of the war, we focused on providing as much of life-saving first aid as possible. We tried to provide distribute as many of first aid kits as possible, tourniquets, other critical tactical medical equipment. With time, we also started helping local hospitals to provide them with essential medical equipment that they were lacking. Working with partners in US, we have collected supplies for hospitals in Ukraine, and we're able to fill the whole cargo plane with 32 tons of the medical supplies and fly it from Seattle to Poland and then deliver it using trucks to Ukraine and distribute locally. Speaking of meeting basic needs of people, we have funded a number of initiatives that are distributing food on the ground. One of the initiatives, Street Food Kitchen, is currently serving 5,000 hot meals a day. So the work is not over. Unfortunately, the war is still going on. The people are still suffering, and there's more aid that needs to be delivered. There's broken supply chains, people wounded by the war actions, shelling, artillery, and there's more help. There's more things that there's more help that we could distribute. There's more goods. There's more suffering that we could alleviate. Everything that we do is only thanks to our donors. I want to invite you to take part in it and help to provide humanitarian relief in Ukraine. Go to novaukraine.org. There are ways to contribute using credit cards, using PayPal, even using Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Please donate, and we'll make sure that the aid is delivered, that it's delivered in the most efficient way, and we'll work hard to alleviate suffering and put your dollar at work.